All right, says I'm live. If you guys can hear me, please let me know and we will get this started. I cannot wait for this race. Love Talladega. I'm sure you guys probably feel the same way. Should be very exciting. Looking forward to it. Lots of fun plays, lots of chalky plays, lots of plays that could end up being traps, and lots of good tournament plays. So it should be a fun one. I will let you guys tell me when you can hear me. I'll pop the chat out and we will get this going. Don't forget to leave a like if you're just now getting here. Every little bit does help, so I do appreciate that. Okay. If you ain't first, you're last, and it's very true. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Andre? Good morning, good morning. I'll let some people roll in. Let me get all my stuff set up here. Make this easier for me. 1 second. Okay. What is up, everybody? What's up, Andre? I think I already said that. What's up, Pete? Hate to be selfish, but can you please tell everyone to stack the front for the next hour? NASCAR is too hard, fair, and square. Need your help. Here, CP, thank you. Every single time there's a super speedway, I always get people telling me, please tell everybody else to stack the front and misguide everybody. Trust me, I would love to do that. I would love for Bell. I would love for Truex to be 20+% owned today. Unfortunately, that is not going to be the case, and I feel like I have an obligation to not lie to everybody. So I wish I could. I wish I could. Trust me. Hunter says, praying your picks today are better than your Warzone skills. I don't know about that, Hunter. I seem to remember last night a little differently. But yes, we were playing Warzone in the Discord until like 2 a.m. last night. It was a good time. Oh man, Spread here. What's up, Spread? Chase says, stack the back, stack the back. Beginning of race, you'll feel like a heart attack, but if you don't, in the end, your money will be whacked. Bam, schwap, yabba dabba yee. It's Super Speedway Sunday. That's beautiful. That was beautiful. I just got a donut from DL. Appreciate it. 50 bucks. Christopher Bell cash play. Yeah, Christopher Bell is definitely the best cash play today. For $50 dono, I can say just about anything, I think. But DL crushed F1. I think everyone in the Discord crushed F1. Obviously, I can't take credit for that because I don't think I can name one driver outside of Verstappen or I guess Lewis Hamilton. That's about all I know. But they crushed F1. I cannot take credit, but Hunter ran some simulations in there and they did an awesome job. And DL had a really nice lineup. So did Bull. So shout out to everybody. They did well in the Discord there. No idea about anything about it. Started at 9 a.m. I certainly wasn't up yet, but they did very well. And if you guys played F1, hopefully you did well as too. K Diddy says 100% Larson today. I think you guys want me to push a lot of propaganda today. Everyone's talking up Bell. Everyone's talking up Larson. Shoot, might as well just talk about the whole top 5. What's up, Rick? Morning, CP. Happy race day, everyone. Yeah, looking forward to it. Today should be a fun one. Love Talladega. Everyone loves Talladega. Do we know what's going to happen? Absolutely not, but we can certainly set ourselves up for success by the way we create our lineups. That is for certain. TL says, anyone else 100% Bubba? Man, I wanted to like Bubba so much heading into the weekend, but man, I believe he's starting 9th today. Let's see. Yeah, he's starting in 9th. I mean, the price obviously doesn't matter. Super expensive over on Fanduel. He's been one of the best Super Speedway drivers, but man, starting in 9th always makes it rough. I still have some exposure in tournaments. Me and Hunter were banging out simulations last night in Discord, and we got a good chunk of sample size there, and he's popping up to be like in the low 10s to low teens as far as his optimal percentage, which is kind of similar to where he's going to be owned today in the field. At least that's what I'm projecting. So it doesn't look like a big leverage play or anything, but he's fine for tournaments still. He's going to have to, I mean, if you're playing Bubba today, you kind of have to hope that he gets a top 2 or wins the race, or at least leads a large chunk of laps and finishes within the top 5. But either way, it's definitely a tough path to optimal, but it's certainly possible. What's up, Bull? What's up, Churd? Yeah, we did make a new contest, by the way. So if you didn't join the DraftKings contest, it did fill before the stream. I thought we could make it 200, but I guess Bull said it like locks at 150 now, so it kind of sucks. But there's a new one if you want to still join. I think I'm not sure what it's called. He might have called it the Churd just as a joke. Got a donut from my man Spread. Appreciate it. Stack the wallet. I always say for sure. Thank you. I always appreciate it, Spread. Always do. What's up, Mr. Miyagi? John says, sounds good. Good. Like to hear that. What's up, Tony? Good day, CP, or should I say Blaney's B? That's funny. I wore the same shirt as yesterday. I have not changed. I'm hoping it's just good luck. Don't worry, it's still clean. I didn't do much yesterday besides sit in a computer chair. Andre says loud and clear. I probably should have checked that before I started talking. I would have been terrible if I talked for 10 minutes and you guys couldn't hear me. Spiritual says, GPP, let's get that money. Let's do it. Sounds like a good time. Lost Profit. Believe my man Wyatt says, hey Chris, any rules you are setting today? Yeah, for sure. I got the first through 12th drivers. I have 0 to 2 for the optimizer. From 13th through 24th, I have 0 to 3 drivers, and then for the back half, I usually make it 3 to 6 drivers. But since this race always has the chance to be a little bit more calm than others, I have it from 2 to 6 as far as like the back cars go, from 25th on back. So. Obviously, place differential is going to be the play today. Even if there's no wrecks, we still see where place differential is optimal. You're just not going to see guys like BJ McLeod or Cody Ware pop into the optimal lineup unless there's some massive wrecks, which, I mean, certainly possible today. What's up, Phil? Nice to see you here. Eric says, what's up, Chris? What's up, Eric? Looking forward to today. What's up, Mass? C-Pen on my way home. Got you live on the truck. Awesome. Awesome. Hopefully I make your ride home better. I know you went to Nashville yesterday. I'm not sure how far away that is for you. If you're hand building 150 today, you might need to hurry home quick, and C. Austin might need some help because I think he's only halfway through this morning. What's up, Mug? What's up, Clint? Happy race day today, baby. Let's go. Yeah. I meant to watch Talladega Nights last night. Right? That's Talladega Nights, yeah. But I got stuck in Warzone, so it never ended up happening. But I meant to watch it. Spread says, please like the videos to roll in. Yeah, hopefully we can get over 100 likes. I thought that's usually a hard thing to do, but if we could, that'd be awesome. Phil says, rise and grind. Yeah, sure is. Sure is. It's time to do that. What's up, Mike? Afternoon, Chris. Just about there. Big Gooder says, why does it feel like the stack the back strategy is dead? I'm not sure. It's not dead, though. It's been optimal at every single super speedway. I mean, yeah, there's always a chance of a couple drivers, getting towards that start close to the front that can be optimal. But for the most part, it's heavy place differential. Like even at Daytona this year, I believe Keselowski and Sundrick, they snuck into the optimal lineup. Let me pull it up. So Daytona 500, we had Blaney starting 7th. He made the optimal. Austin Cindric starting 5th, which was why I always have my 0 to 2 strategy from driver starting 1st to 12th. Because while it's not often that happens, there's still a chance it will. But then the rest of the drivers, we're talking 16th, 38th, 33rd, and 34th. So, I mean, even then it was still, massive place differential. And, we've seen in the past Talladega, Daytona, where place differential is always going to be the king, even if there isn't like a massive wreck. It's just there's not enough laps and the dominator points are too spread out for dominators or anybody that's like stacking the front for that to work out. So, I hope it's dead, though. That'd be great. I don't think it's dead, though. I mean, we're still going to see the guys in the back extremely popular. Unless you mean like just back marker cars, I don't think they're going to pick up a ton of ownership today. Mug says, so are we stacking the guys in the back or the front? Everyone wants me to say the front, but it's the back. You are definitely wanting the drivers from the back today. In tournaments, do not be afraid to use guys starting closer to the front. You can sprinkle in the Joey Logano's. You can get the Denny Hamiltons in there. And some of the other guys in the teens. There's one guy I really like today. One of my favorite tournament plays. I'll bring him up if someone asks me about it, but... Don't be afraid to sprinkle them in. What's up, Eric? C-Pen the GOAT. You're the GOAT, Eric. Let's see. I lost my spot. Hold on. Eric says, no one in the top 10 is a cash play at a plate race. Oh, that was probably a joke, my bad. Yeah, he's kidding. He always does that to me. He asks about the worst play on the slate every single week, if he's a cash play or not. Bull says, 150 max you just sent. LFG, it's Dago, baby. Sure is. I'm looking forward to it. I got to do my 150 max after I get off the stream here, but I was hoping maybe after I talk about the slate here live, it'd help solidify my thoughts. But I feel like I know where I'm going to go completely, but I could sway a few things. I'm kind of wondering what I'm going to do with my single entry because that's always a tough thing to do at a track like this. Blake says, under the point is to stack the back, but do you think having Bubba and Byron in the same lineup is okay? Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I always say if it follows my rules, it's okay. Now, is it aggressive to do that? Sure, you have the driver starting 8th and 9th, but it's still fine. Like, we saw Daytona earlier this year. The guys starting 7th and 5th were optimal. I believe Keselowski was close to the front. I want to say he was close to being optimal as well. But as long as it follows my rules, I think it's okay. It's just aggressive. Andrew says, is 5K too much salary to leave on the table? No, that's fine. We've seen in the past where there's like close to $20,000 left on the table in an optimal lineup. I think that was at Daytona where it's always a little bit more chaotic, but Talladega can get just as crazy too. But 5K is certainly fine. I have lineups that probably leave around 10K on the table somewhere. I'll have to pull them up, but you can definitely leave as much money on the table as you want, and that's no issue at all. Mike says, how about an Earnhardt in a 3 finishing second yesterday? I saw that. Everyone was saying he had like extra horsepower, and they rigged it for him. But yeah, I saw Jeffrey Earnhardt start on the pole, finish second. Pretty good race for him. I remember when he was in the Cup Series, just absolute garbage. Phil says, Blaney a lock for cash. So I'm having a dilemma because I would never play a guy starting inside like the top 24 for cash games at a super speedway, but with Blaney's ownership, for what I'm projecting, it looks like he is going to be extremely high owned. And if he's going to be extremely high owned in cash, I think Blaney is one of the best plays on the slate today, obviously. And if I don't play him in cash and he does not wreck today, I will probably be dead. So even though it goes against my rules, I'm pretty sure I'm playing Blaney. It's kind of similar to Joey Logano at the Daytona 500, where he was starting, I want to say around 20th, 22nd, and he was very chalky, but I never play guys starting mid-pack at Daytona. I did not play him that time around at Daytona, and I think Blaney's kind of in the same spot here, but I am going to play Blaney this time in cash games. It kind of goes against my typical cash game rules, but I'm just kind of eating the ownership there, and because if he does not wreck, you're not going to be sitting pretty. And if he does wreck, he should be high owned enough where it won't matter too much. So I think I'm going to eat the chalk on Blaney in cash games. I have not solidified that yet, but there's a good chance Blaney ends up being in a cash game on it for me. So it's a tough decision, though. It is a tough decision because it's so easy just to get like Bowman, Elliott, and then just guys like 28th and back after that. DL says banging. What are we? What are we doing? I must have missed something. Chase says, Chris, what would you do to get different from the chalk? Maybe go Joey over Blaney. He'll be lower owned for sure. I mean, they're both very, very good plays. According to the Sims on my side, Joey's going to be a bit over owned compared to his optimal probability. I still like him as a tournament play for sure. I do worry about him getting a little bit too high owned for where he's starting, but he will be lower owned than Blaney, so I do think he's a decent pivot. I mean, Joey and Blaney easily could run 1-2 for the majority of this race. Would not be surprised at all. Luke says David Reagan will win someone $100,000. It'll probably be Sean. Sean won $1 million with David Reagan. Gonna go right back to him, I'm sure. But I definitely like David Reagan today. Out of all the junker cars down low, he's my favorite for sure. FE says Penske stacks or Stewart-Haas racing stacks. Both look pretty good today. Obviously, Penske starting a little bit closer to the front. Stewart-Haas definitely has a lot of guys in the back. We have Kevin Harvick starting 24th. You have Cole Custer starting 29th, right? Yeah, 29th. Almirola starting 23rd. And then Briscoe starting P19, I believe. No. Where's he at? Oh, P17. So, I mean, both look excellent, obviously. No problem with that at all. Bull says, sent you the link to the new contest in Disc. Appreciate that, Bull. Someone could maybe spread post that for me. I'd appreciate it. Boldy says, favorite MLB stack today? I believe I had San Francisco and Chicago, the Cubs, as my top two today. So there you go. They're going to be pretty chalky, but I do like them. Sorry, I can't mute my mic for a second. All right, I think we're good. Okay, well, my mom's here. Good morning, bud. Morning, everyone. Happy race day. Logano for the win. Got to run to Lowe's. Oh, have fun at Lowe's. I'm sure you're probably getting flowers or something. But good morning. And yeah, Logano could certainly win this race. That would not surprise me. If there's any place to bet on Joey to win, this is just about it. What's up, Pedro? How much money should it be okay to leave on the table? You can leave as much money on the table as you want today, because if you build a lineup, if you think it's going to be an absolute carnage fest, and you played Noah Gragson, Corey LaJoie, JJ Yeley, Lennon Castle, Cole Custer all in the same lineup, that'd be fine today. So leave as much money on the table as you want. Is that maybe the best way to go? No, it's dependent on there being massive wrecks, but that is obviously certainly possible at Talladega, as we all know. Michael says, who is your favorite high price guy going low owned? Ooh, well, let's see. So Blaney's going to be chalk. Logano's going to be decently chalky. Obviously, everyone's playing Elliott. Everyone's playing Bowman. Well, if we want to count even Keselowski's not going to be like super low owned, but out of all the guys that I think are not going to be complete chalk, Keselowski would be my favorite. He's all the way up to $12,000 over on Fanduel, close to $9K over on DK, but I definitely like BK quite a bit. I mean, he's so good at Talladega, and it's not that it matters that he's no longer in a Penske car. We saw at Daytona where he's still going to be strong. The Fords should be fast. So I definitely like Keselowski. He's still going to be owned to a degree, but not as high as Ryan Blaney. Should be close to Joey, but not quite there, and obviously won't be near Bowman or Elliott. But if you think Kess is going to be too high owned, then I would say probably William Byron out of like lower owned guys. DDT says, don't do much of NASCAR. Love the sport, but got a $3 ticket, so I have one lineup. Stack the back. And is Blaney good for GPP or chalk? Yeah, I would stack the back for the most part. Blaney will be chalk for tournaments, so if you want to make a pivot, that is totally fine. But he is one of the best plays on the slate today, but he will be chalky. So just depends. Do you want to eat the chalk or do you not want to? John says, Elliott, Blaney, Keselowski, Busher, The Joy, okay for FanDuel cash. That looks pretty good to me. I'm still trying to figure out my single entry over on FanDuel. I'm 100% playing Bowman. I'm 100% playing Chase. Chase is a little bit too cheap over there at 12.5, and obviously Bowman at 8K. You can expect some massive ownership there. After that, try and decide what I want to do, because I want to play Blaney. He's expensive, but I can make it work. And then you have so many other good plays. And obviously you have unlimited plays down low that are really cheap, but I'm still trying to decide. I got 3 spots pretty much locked up, though. Just need 2 more. Chris says, favorite driver under $6,000. Cole Custer would be my highest owned as of right now, under 6K. Wonderful Julian is here. Good morning from another sunny day. But it's very sunny out. I think it's like around 90 degrees. At least it's going to be later today. Looking forward to a nice warm day. Maybe I can watch the race down by the pool. Luke says, if you ain't first, you're last. And it's very true. Very, very true. I wish I should have watched the movie last night. I wanted to. I just forgot. See, Austin says, 39 to go. I got that. I hope. We're all worried about you in chat. If you don't know, C. Austin is hand building 150 lineups today. I don't think he's ever built 150 lineups before, so he's going to need all the help he can get, especially because he does not know how to use technology, so he's probably writing all this down on pen and paper, and it's not going to look pretty. I hope you have the right combination by the end of the day, though. Chase says 35 out of 100 in the new tournament. Yeah, so if you're just not getting here, we made a new tournament because it filled before the stream. So if you want in the contest and you didn't, or you just want to join the second contest, it's in there in the league. You join in, it automatically puts you in the league, and you get auto invites every single week. So if you want to join, feel free to do that. Andrew says 2 must-have drivers in a single entry GPP on FanDuel. For me, it's Chase and Bowman. Yeah, they're going to be chalk, but on FanDuel, it's really hard to get away from that price tag. I mean, 12.5 for Elliott and 8K for Bowman. I know Bowman tends to get wrecked a lot, but he actually does have some decent finishes in the past at Talladega. We're talking 3 top 15s and 2 top 10s, and finished 10th at Atlanta earlier this year. I mean, he always tends to start up front and gets wrecked. Kind of different now, starting at around 30th place. I just love that price point. Blake says, since PD isn't as important on FanDuel, I think Bubba has a lot more value over there, which is why he's so expensive. Well, they came out with the pricing before the qualifying order, but I know what you're trying to say. And when I ran Sims last night for DraftKings and FanDuel, you're going to notice where like the optimal probability on some of the PD plays do get lowered. And then some of the guys starting like Hamlin, Joey, Byron, and like Bubba Wallace, they get lifted a little bit more in the optimal probability. So, I mean, I know what you're saying, and you'd be right there. Chase says, Ricky Spinhouse. He certainly will play. I mean, it's never fun playing Ricky. I mean, if anyone's played him this year, I think you've all seen what Ricky's been doing to you. But man, it's hard not to like him at Talladega. It's one of his best tracks. He's probably going to work his way to the front at some point. It's just a matter of when does he find the wall, because it feels like it happens every single time. But he has race winning potential. He really does. I think he's cash game viable, but that does not feel good at all. See, Austin says, I see Andy and Dude didn't show up for work again. I know. I'm going to have to give Spread a raise today. That is for sure. Bull says, we got to play more Warzone tonight? Yeah, we sure do. We sure do. We got to get you on because we didn't get to play with you last night. We'll have to run some trios, or at least trios, and maybe if Hunter plays, we can get some quads too. Although his mood will probably depend on how NASCAR went today, so hopefully it goes well. Eric says it's Briscoe, isn't it? Yeah, Briscoe's a solid play. I mean, he's kind of in a weird spot starting 17th. He is expensive, though, but he is not going to have near the ownership of Keselowski and Kevin Harvick, so I think Briscoe's actually a pretty decent pivot there, for sure. And I want to say, what did he finish at Atlanta? It was pretty good, wasn't it? Or maybe I'm thinking of another. No, I'm thinking of Daytona. He finished 3rd at Daytona, 15th at Atlanta. Austin says, good morning, C-Pen's better half. Boldy says, are 3 Dominators okay? I would up that to 4 or 5 at least. You want all the Dominators you can get here at Talladega, that's for sure. All those fast laps and lap sled potential, you got to eat them up. So it says, that'd be awesome. I have work in the morning. So oh yeah, I forgot you have work in the morning. That sucks. But hopefully she can play a little bit, but I'm down to play for quite some time tonight, Bull. You know I got nothing to do on Mondays. Chase says, Eric Almirola or Ricky? I'm looking at my exposures. I know I have them close. I believe I have slightly more Ricky, though. Yeah, I have 2% more Ricky right now. So it's very close. I think Almirola is a good pivot off of Ricky because he's going to be slightly higher owned, but they should both have some ownership. Where are we at? See, Austin says, I hate Warzone. Unbelievable. You don't even know how to turn on an Xbox. So I don't want to hear it. Mr. Miyagi says, thoughts on Chris Buescher? He's one of the best plays today. Cash game lock for me. He's excellent at just getting good finishes at super speedways. And now you make him starting 30th. It's just, I see no reason not to like Buescher. Plus the Fords always tend to have some speed. Jet says, of the 5K and below drivers, who is most likely to not finish due to mechanical reasons? For me, that'd be Biffle. I don't think I have any Biffle today, to be honest. His car just sucks. I wouldn't be surprised if he's the first one out if there's no wrecks for a while. Natalie says, how much do you think the draft by manufacturer will play into the race? Chevys always seem to draft well together. I mean, it's not something I really build lineups to accordingly. Like, yeah, we'll probably see the Fords run a train and they'll all team up for sure. But at the end of the day, it's all about just who survives the end. But, I mean, for the boring parts of the race, yeah, it'll come into play. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. But if I ever had a bet on a manufacturer for a plate race, it's going to be the Fords for me. They always tend to be really, really strong. No, I certainly don't like that. Can't talk ill on Warzone. Chris Buescher or Michael McDowell? It'd be Buescher for me. Michael McDowell is an excellent pivot, though. I mean, he's also very good at super speedways. More so Daytona than Talladega, but he has his fair share of good finishes here at Dega as well. But for me, it'd be Buescher with the 9 extra place differential spots. You want Andy fired? He's not going to be happy when I tell him about this in Discord. Day says, yo, what's up, man? Nice to have you here. Michael says, any love for Buescher? Yeah, Buescher's one of the best plays on the slate today. One of my highest owned drivers. What's he over on Fanduel? 7,000? Yeah, it's not like pricing really matters, but yeah, I like him just about everywhere. If I look at the Fanduel sims, 1 second, let me see. Yeah, top 3 in the Fanduel sims as far as optimal probability, it's Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Chris Buescher for me. Let's see. Chris Davis says, Elliott, Bowman, Blaney, Buescher, LeJoyne, Stennis for cash. It's solid. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going yet, but if you just have, if you have Bowman, Chase, and Buescher today, and then any mix of drivers starting 20th on back, it's going to be a good cash lineup. The other contest is now 42 out of 100. We might just end up filling 2 contests today. So yeah, if you're just not getting here, there's another contest if you weren't able to get into the first one. Jeb says, no wonder Discord is quiet. All the dummies are in here. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We'll be in the after party in Discord afterwards, though. Mass says, see, Austin got 39 left. I got 100 to hand build, starting in 10 minutes, debating going 120. Man. Mass, so you got 100 lineups, 120 lineups maybe, in about 3 hours. I'm not sure what the pace is of that. Let's see, 120 divided by 3. Got to make 40 lineups an hour, which is certainly possible. Doesn't sound fun, though. History Buff says, this is the worst race to hand build lineups for. Yeah, I mean, if I hand build lineups for this, I would be... I mean, I could do a single entry for sure, but after that, it'd be like, oh man, it'd be so hard because you want to keep building the same lineup is always my problem. So it's very hard for me to get unique. So I just like looking at my exposures at the end. I don't care what the lineups look like as long as they have my rules set. I already know they're going to be in a fashion that I want them to. And then I just look at the end results. That's all I care about. Chris says, thoughts on Syndic for GPP? Yeah, he was the one guy I was talking about earlier where he's probably my favorite tournament play on the slate, looking like the best positive leverage play. I mean, we all like Team Pence to get super speedways, so don't forget about Austin Cindric. Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano are going to have a ton of ownership. Cindric looks like he's going to be a little bit lower owned, but I mean, he won the Daytona 500. He's going to be probably riding right up there with Blaney and Joey Logano, and he's starting in 18, so you have some place differential upside. Who's to say he can't win this race? So I'm definitely pretty big on Austin Cindric today. Looking like the best leverage score currently right now. Chris Palmer says, cash head-to-head. Blaney, Elliott, Bowman, Busher, and the Joy. Last guy in, Stenhouse or Custer? Oh my. Custer feels safer. I think Stenhouse will be a little bit higher owned though, but I'd almost be tempted to say Custer. Because Stenhouse is a guy where, yeah, the ceiling is extremely high and he could easily get like a top 5. But man, he can easily wreck out too. Or Custer, I think, is just one of those guys that should at least be good for a top 20. DFS says, Recky going to make everyone else wreck around him. Yeah, that's what I wrote up for Brad Keselowski in the tournament article. I said, Keselowski's probably going to come out swinging, but as long as he's the one doing the wrecking and he's not wrecking himself, that's what you want. But, because, I mean, I believe it was Daytona, right, where Keselowski was just plowing the entire field. He was, like, responsible for just about half the cars being out in that race. But, yeah. I just see it. Yeah, I got a donut from EZ. Appreciate that. Harvick over Larson or Briscoe over Larson in a matchup or both? I'd be tempted to take both there. I mean, Larson just sucks at these. I have the under, or it's a negative. I have the over on Larson, but it's like opposite of what you would think. I mean, if you're looking at Larson at Talladega, negative 17 DraftKings points per race, an average finish of 35th. And it's not like he's running well either. He's got an average running position of 25.6 with a driver rating about half of Joey Logano, sitting at 57.2, which is on par with drivers like Landon Castle, not too far off of Cody Ware. Like, he just does not have the best of times at the super speedways. Is he capable of a good finish? Yes, but man, especially for DFS purposes, I'm not touching Larson. I think he got in the Sims like a 1% chance of being optimal. So like there's a slimmer of hope there, but nothing I would count on for sure. Let me check price picks because I put in my things last night. Let me see if they moved. So I took two. So I took Christopher Bell under 26.5 lap sled. He's now at 21.5, so I guess that was solid. So yeah, he lost 5 laps there, so got good value. Logano I got over 9.5 lap sled. He's now at 11.5, so I guess that also was good. I also had one more. It was Kyle Larson, negative 6.5 place differential. I took the over, which if I'm reading it correctly, that would be losing more spots than that. I was kind of confused for a little bit since it's a negative number. I took the under on negative 6.5, so basically just don't need him to finish top 11 or top 12, which I feel pretty good about. So those are the 3 I went with. Obviously, you lost a lot of value on the Bell and Logano props, so they're not as enticing anymore. But I do like that Larson over, which in a negative way, if that makes sense. Mike says, hey, Chris, good morning. I just logged in. What's up, Mike? Glad to have you here. Mass says the best race to hand build by far. Yeah, sure, crazy. But it works out for you. It does, so I can't judge you. Chase says Landon Castle love. I do like Landon Castle. He does have to do the pass-through penalty to start the race. Don't care. That's fine with me. It's just going to lower his ownership a little bit, but I just need him to have a very boring race, and if there's wrecks, he'll probably contend for a top 30, top 25, which is all I can really ask for from Landon Castle, starting dead last. So no problem at all with him. As for Biffle, I am not playing Biffle today. If you want to play a couple, sure, go for it, but I can't put my stamp on Greg Biffle. Mike says, I am torn whether I should fade Elliott or fade either Elliott or Blaney, both, or go overweight to one or both. If I had to pick one to go overweight on, it would be Elliott for me, just because he's starting further back and he's a little bit of a safer floor. Blaney starting in 22nd, yeah, that's a lot of PD, but he could also lose close to 18 spots. So for me, it'd be Chase, as much as I love Ryan Blaney today, but both are fantastic plays. Andrew says, thoughts on this Fanduel lineup? Blaney, Elliott, Busher, Custer, and Reagan. It looks solid. I'm not sure how often I'm going to get to David Reagan. Let me see what I have in my crunches right now over on Fanduel. I love him on DraftKings. Fanduel's a little bit different because you don't need the punts as much. But I have... Let me see if I can find him. Okay, I got 10% David Reagan over on Fanduel right now. So... yeah, that's fine. I thought I had a little bit less, a little bit more than I thought. Appreciate it, Spread. Yeah, if you haven't already, you can follow me over on Twitter, I'm at ChrisPennell16. I tweet like twice a week, maybe like a NASCAR joke here and there on Sunday, and then my DraftKings contest. I don't tweet often. History Buff says, do you still like Bubba even though he's starting in the top 10? It's definitely a lot tougher to like Bubba. He's an intriguing tournament play. But, I mean, if you're playing cash games, you obviously can't play Bubba now. I don't mind playing around 10 to 15% Bubba today. I think it's a decent range to be in, but definitely not as high on him as I was heading into the week. The best under 5K, that'd be Landon Castle for me. Julian says, thanks for ignoring my good morning. I didn't see it. I did not see it. I was wondering. I thought I missed something. I'm sorry, though. I must not have seen it. But good morning to you as well. Jason says, hey Chris, is Jason? Man, oh my god, if Tyler Reddick would have won, I would have won at 2,600 had both of them wanted to. Oh yeah, I was thinking about that because when I saw Reddick, because I remember asking in the stream, I was like, Reddick's a decent, not like a long shot, but he's definitely a decent bet to win after the practice speeds, and he had the win locked up. And then I remember when he wrecked, I think you had a bet on him, and I was like, oh my gosh. I know it's going to hurt you quite a bit, but that sucks. That really does suck. I mean, you made the right bet, though. He was going to win that race. You can't really account for Chase Briscoe, going in there and just ruining his race at the end of the day, and then Kyle Busch backing into one. But yeah, that sucks. It really does. Jason says, who'd you pick, man? Gun to your head. Who wins? Need your pick. Watch you every weekend. Appreciate it, Jason. Hopefully they don't wreck at the end. For me... it's going to be a Ford. The boring answer is Blaney. If it's not Blaney, Logano. But any of the Penske Fords or Keselowski would be my bet. And the odds right now, I might have old odds. So let me pull up the most up-to-date ones. So for this, man, we have Bubba Wallace now, plus 1,200. Tied for the best odds to win the race. With Blaney and Logano, that seems a bit aggressive. I mean, yeah, I know Bubba's a good plate racer, but I don't think he should be tied for first with Blaney and Logano. Seems a bit steep. You can get, just looking at some of these odds, they did change a little bit. Just kind of interested. Yeah, Keselowski now tied for second best with Denny Hamilton. Yeah, I mean, I really like Blaney, Logano, Keselowski today, or Cindric. Cindric's at plus 1,800, but it's hard to imagine he wins at 500 in Talladega back-to-back. Bull says, if you want the second contest, you better hurry. It's almost filled already. Dang. We're filling contests like crazy over here. I remember we couldn't even fill a 50-man contest at the end of last year. How do I feel about Haley? Obviously a good plate racer. The problem is he's starting so close to the front where it's just hard for me to click on his name. Starting 11th, though, going to be super low owned. I'm projecting for under 5% ownership. If you want to sprinkle a little bit there, that's fine. I believe we gave him Yeah, 4% chance to be optimal, which is going to be right around where he's owned. So he's fine for a sprinkle, but nothing more. See, Austin says I don't know how El Maso does this. Me either. I can barely get one lineup in on time. I don't know how he can do 120, 150 lineups. Like it'll be like 20 seconds to lock, and I'm still deciding my single entry. So I don't know how he does 150 on hand. Let's see. DDT says, so after changing my lineup 20 times, I'm going with Blaney, Bowman, Busher, Ty Dillon, Reagan, and Custer, leaving 5,800 on the table. My head hurts. Good stuff, though. You got a new sub. Appreciate that, man. I didn't know you were a new sub, but thank you for hanging out, asking some questions, and hopefully you can stick around for the future. Yeah, it's a good lineup. Ty Dillon, a little bit risky for restarting, but he's a good tournament play today for sure. So I think it's a solid lineup. And if you're at Talladega or Daytona, just always know if you like your lineup, it's probably a bad one. If you don't like it and it looks terrible, those are usually the best ones at the end of the day. And for anyone new doing this, super speedways, you probably want to be losing money for about the entire race. So just know that. History Buff says, are you getting any ownership for guys starting top 10 or avoiding them altogether? I have a little bit of them. It's nothing too crazy. I have about, as far as guys that go in the top 10, I have like Bubba Wallace, low teens. I have William Byron close to 10%, Denny Hamilton just under 10%, Red X right around there as well. So I have anybody in the top 10, I don't have anything above like 13% there. So I got sprinkles for sure. FB says only 60 likes. Come on, folks, hit the like button. Yeah, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Really just helping me out. Do appreciate it. Good morning, Sarah. Elric says, appreciate your content, CP. Thoughts on Gillen for cash? Appreciate that. And yeah, Gillen's fine for cash today. I don't think he's going to be super high owned, but I mean, he's starting so far in the back where all those guys are going to be cash viable. Brian says, you're giving any love to LaJoy? For sure. LaJoy is excellent at just kind of riding around the back and then grabbing his good finish. I have no problem with LaJoy today. Definitely one of my favorite cheap drivers. Eric says, I've hand built 40, some of my own. Most I use a random number generator limited to drivers. That's probably the best way to do it, to be honest. Just a random number generator. Because it doesn't really matter who the drivers are. I mean, it does to a degree. Like some guys are just really good at super speedways, like Keselowski, Penske cars. But for the most part, you just kind of roll some dice on where these guys are starting and plug them in. Appreciate the plug spread. Appreciate, yeah, we got everything over there. Optimizer, ownership projections, tire sheet, Discord, all that fun stuff. OSU says Blaney over Elliott for racing props, finishing spot. I would take Blaney. I mean, projection-wise, I have him projected to win the race. Now, by win the race, I mean I have him projected to finish so I have him as a projected finish of 9.84. That just goes to show you like the randomness of Talladega. And second, I have Joey Logano at 10.02. So obviously a lot of randomness in there. So if you just sort it by like what they would be ranked, I have Blaney 1, Logano 2, Chase 3, Keselowski 4. Finishing position today. What's up, Steven? Glad to have you here. Derek says, I think I seen you at Wawa's the other day. Do you drive a red Jetta? I do not drive a red Jetta, and I was not at Wawa's, so it was not me. Are you in the Fort Myers area? But no, it was not me. I drive a black SUV. If anyone ever sees me. Eric says, Austin Dillon or Busher on Fanduel? For me, that'd be Busher. I just like that place differential upside. And he's got similar finishing position to Austin Dillon anyway, so. Brian says, Blaney, Chase, Bowman, Elliott. Well, that's confusing. Is Chase Briscoe or is Chase Elliott? Because then you have Elliott. I'm going to assume maybe you just double set it. So you have Blaney, Bowman, Elliott, Ricky. Need a sixth. 5,900 left. So 5,900. I would probably go with Custer there. Kevin says Wallace or Cindric. I would go with Cindric. I love Cindric today. Alan says, LaJoy or Castle, last driver in. I would go with LaJoy. I like Castle today, but at least LaJoy doesn't have to do the pass-through penalty, and he should be able to hang on the lead lap. OSU says, Keselowski over Logano for props? That one's a little tough for me to even try this. I would pick Joey, but it's a complete toss-up. I have them projected to finish right like next to each other, so it's not something I'd have an edge on, really. I'd pick Joey, though, but it's really a coin flip. Probably just a matter of who wrecks and who doesn't out of those two. Effie says, way to go, CP, messing up the prize picks with your projection. Yeah, that was a steep decline for Christopher Bell. I mean, sometimes it goes down 2, but he's down 6 laps. So that was pretty steep. I guess everyone was hammering the Bell under. I know he was on the pole, and he got track position to work with, and he's got Truex right beside him. But man, 26.5 laps led for Christopher Bell is a bit steep at Talladega. Bit steep. Frank says, how do you feel about Kyle Busch? Feel like no one is talking about him. Thanks again. No problem at all. Busch is fine. Busch actually has one of the better average running positions at super speedways, but man, he does not have good luck, which I know you can't really quantify luck, but for whatever reason, he's got a magnet to the wall or whatever it is. Like at Talladega, average running position of 12.7, which is really good. Average finish of 22.4. And if you expand this to the past 11 races at plate races, 25.3 average finish, but one of the best running positions, but 0 top 5s and only 1 top 10. So for whatever reason, Kyle Busch just does not have the best of luck. Not sure why, but tends to run well, but it doesn't usually end pretty too much. Chase says, Juliana breaking up with Chris for ghosting her. I didn't see it. I really didn't. Joe says, cash game lineup, you're welcome. Elliott, Bowman, Keselowski, Harvick, Busch, or LaJoy. No need to watch the video now. I wouldn't play Keselowski in cash. I like Keselowski a lot today, but I would not touch anybody starting into the top 20 in cash games. Juliana says, I think he'll be fine. He's got his Discord guys. Chase, you're trying to get me in trouble here. $1 Million Man Sean's here. Hey, boss man. Sorry, I missed your F1 live stream. That'll never happen. I wouldn't know what to say. I don't know any of the tracks they're at, although I think they're coming to Miami next week, right? Which I'm pretty close to Miami, so that'd be tempting to go. Flights Demon says, you're the best. Thank you, Flights. How about Blaney, Elliott, Bowman, Reagan, Custer, LaJoy? That's a good lineup. No problem at all with that. I don't know how much money's on the table, but it doesn't matter. Looks good, though. Almirola or Stenhouse? Slightly in the Stenhouse. Very slight. Eric says, I was heavy on both Briscoe and Reddick last week. That wreck was rough. I know. I mean, obviously Reddick still had a great race at the end of the day because he finished second, but man, he was... I felt bad for him. Like, he deserved to win. He really did. Briscoe got screwed way more than Reddick, though, as far as fantasy goes at the end of the day, because I don't remember where he finished, but it definitely was not where he was going to. So it definitely sucked if you had a lot of Briscoe. Joe says, GPP, Blaney, Logano, Almirola, Eric Jones, Ty Dillon, and Bubba. Solid for tournaments. Can't argue that. Can't argue that. Bull says we are a big family over there. Yes, we are. Eric says, not that I hurt Reddick much other than him. Yeah, exactly what I was saying. It sucked for Reddick. Definitely. He deserves a win at some point. The guy is so good. So good. I'd say he's right up there with Ryan. Not as much as Blaney, but he's one of my favorite drivers for sure. He's probably second to Blaney right now. He's just such a good talent. E. Rush says, hey, C-Pen, 420 was a couple days ago. That it was. That it was. History Buff says, are you getting good ownership on guys like Castle, Yaley, McLeod, Ware due to possible equipment failure possibility? Reagan seems safest. I'm not getting a ton of them. I mean, looking at some of the sim scores, we're talking like, I'm not getting any Biffle. I got like 3% Ware, 4% Yaley, 4% McLeod, so it's nothing too crazy there. But for Castle and Reagan, those guys are in the double digits. Those are the two I'm getting to as far as like the junk cars go. Mike says, I have one with 10,200 left over, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine at a race like this. That is for sure. Biggie Stack says, doing 200 by hand, we're in the sauce. Oh my. 200 by hand? That's insane. I couldn't do that. Do you keep track of it? Like what your exposures are, or you just full send it in? Flight says, take everyone behind 28th place. I can't argue that. What is your average salary you leaving on the table? I'm not sure what the average salary is for me. I have not yet crunched completely. I mean, I have Sims ran stuff. I have a dry run that went. I can generate 150 right now, and we'll see what pops up. It's crunching. I'll let you know though. Eric says, a black SUV. Do you work for the FBI? I cannot confirm nor deny that, but yes, I do. To drive a SUV. Mad Dog says they got Almirola, Blaney, Bowman, Busher, Elliott, and Reagan. What do you think? It sounds good. It's just a matter of being able to, finish the race for these guys. But if they finish the race, I mean, they got plenty of place differential. Bull says, inside joke there with Lemon, but it's certainly not Bull. I can tell you that. Andrew says, who am I projecting to be the top 3 finishers? I believe it was Blaney, Logano, Chase. I think were my top 3. I know Keselowski and Hamilton are right up there too. So I got 150 to crunch just now. Not many rules. I just want to try to get something out, but looks like, so in 150, with just kind of random projections, you're looking at an average salary used of 49.2, which if I played around with the settings and randomness more, that'd definitely go down. But yeah, don't be afraid to leave money on the table today. You can leave plenty. And even without making rules to specifically target more drivers in the back, the minimum salary used was around 46,500. So you can definitely leave as much money on the table as you want. There'd be no problem. Steven says, hit the like, my friends, for sure. Ty Gibbs Future Goat says, the only one I like in the top 15 is Kyle Busch. Is that a Kyle Busch profile picture I see? It might be why, but I like Kyle Busch too a little bit. But man, he has some bad luck. As far as the top 15 goes, though, my favorite driver would be Keselowski, him or Logano. Joe says, top projected ownership, Blaney, Elliott, Bowman, Keselowski, Busher, Stenhouse. Yeah, Ty Dillon is not going to be in the top projected ownership. I can guarantee that. That will not happen, especially starting 20th. Matt says, for what it's worth, I won 2 of 3 races F1 on a simulator yesterday in Nashville. See rocks when you turn it. Oh, it's pretty cool, actually. Feel like in an arcade or something. Sounds pretty fun, though. Mike says, just finished my 10 lineups. Let's get this money. Feel kind of sick to my stomach with some of the drivers I picked, but it's Dega. If you're not sick to your stomach after building lineups here at Talladega, you're doing it wrong. So that's certainly fine. Frank says, Cindric or Chastain, last man in. For me, it'd be Cindric. I'm loving Cindric today in tournaments. Triple G says, oh man, I know I'm late. What I missed briefly? Anyone switch positions, car issues? No, we're all good. What you see on starting positions is what it's going to be. But if anyone went to the back or something, whatever, it doesn't matter here. Like, I don't care who goes to the back. This is not a race to care about that. So you're all good. You're all good. Ty Gibbs says, everyone is going to have similar lineups. Yeah, definitely going to. You got to find ways to get different. That is for sure. Triple G says, I'll make it on time next week, I promise. Gotcha. No worries at all. Notorious says, LaJoy or Reagan in cash? I would go with LaJoy, just feel a little bit better with him there. Paper says, Cindric or Stenhouse for a single entry tournament? I would go with Cindric. I think he's an excellent tournament play today. Obviously, Ricky, a little bit more upside for where he's starting, but I mean, Cindric should be rock solid with the Penske cars today. You're all good, Chase. Don't worry. Tiger's Future Goat says, ARCA race was actually pretty good. I'm expecting a great race. I did not see the ARCA race. I know some people were talking about it in Discord, but I didn't pay attention to it. The Travis Miller says, something tells me Bubba is going to get his first legit win today. Certainly possible. If there's any place to bet on Bubba to win the race, it's going to be at Dega. Or Daytona or Talladega. Bull says, don't even look at lineups, just look at your ownership and send it if you got your ownerships where you want, 100%. I don't even look at my lineups. I just look at the exposure at the end, as long as they follow my rules. Works for me. Rob says, in large field GPPs, are you leaving at least $500 in each lineup? I mean, you could still get different if you use like your entire salary to a degree, as long as you're not just completely picking the chalk plays. I'm not like going my way to make sure I leave a certain amount of money on the table, but it's fine. Dwayne says, Brad Keselowski is tied with Gordon here. Huge narrative for this race for most wins. Look, I'm all for good narratives. We always hunt for narratives in the Discord each and every single weekend, and a lot of times it works out. So I don't mind it. And plus, I got a good chunk of Brad Keselowski today anyway, so I'm all for some BK doing well. Biggie Stick says, I have a basic idea overall of the plays I feel like I should get to, so I just mix and match them all. I hear you. I hear you. Eric says, also one of the few races this year where Brad will actually have a chance to win. Yeah. I mean, super speedways is about the only place I've played Brad, maybe outside of a short track here and there, but yeah, everywhere else he's been complete garbage. The way Brad drove in the 500, I got a feeling he won't be up there at the end. He was a wild man in the 500, especially with his points penalty now. He's going to have to work his way to the front and stay up there, so it could definitely be very aggressive. If you're playing Brad, I would expect wreckers or checkers, to be honest. But I think the upside's high enough to where I would definitely still get a decent chunk of Brad. But it's probably won't be for the faint of heart. Max says, DK single entry tournament, Blaney, Cindric, Custer, Gilliland, Brad, McDowell. Do I need more PD upside here? No, you still have good place differential upside. I mean, you have Custer and Gilliland sure on 30th place. You still have McDowell and Blaney in the 20s. Austin Cindric's close to 20th. BK's up there a little bit, but it's still a solid lineup for sure. And we could always see the Spring Talladega race be a little more calm anyway. So History says, how do you like Gregson? The beer team is good at restrictor plates, and yeah, I'm fine with Gregson today. I have over, I think around 15% currently. Where do I have him projected owned? I think it's around. Yeah, I got him around like in the mid, like around 15% ownership. I do like him today. I mean, he's just starting so far back. Now, I'm not in love with him because there's so many good other place differential plays. It's not like he stands out above the rest, but he's certainly someone I want to get some exposure to. Landon Castle for the W? I don't know about the W. Eric says, I left 6K on average over my 40 lineups, and that's fine. That's fine. That's a little aggressive. It's not where I'm at, but I can't argue with it. I mean, if you think it's going to be a wreck fest, that sounds really good. I love me some Suarez too, but starting 4th at Dega makes me nervous. Yeah, I can't play Suarez today. I just can't. He's not good at super speedways. I mean, if you're looking at his numbers at Dega, we're talking average finish at 25.3 in his running position. It's right there with him at 23.5. It's just not pretty. I know he finished 4th at Atlanta, but man, starting in 4th, he's basically got to win the race to be optimal. Is there any left for Denny Hamilton today? Hamlin, if you're playing Hamlin, you pretty much need to get up front and win the race, which obviously certainly possible. But I do think he's going to be a bit overowned today. Like I'd say there's like an 8 to 10% chance he's in the optimal. If he's going to come in like 15% plus, I just think he's a bit overowned. Chase says, all right, Chris, good luck today. I mean, you not join the DK contest? I never see CPen 16's name anymore. I'm sneaky like that. But I do like having other people join first because I don't want to take up spots. But yeah, good luck to you today as well. I'm probably going to get out of here soon. I've been on here for about an hour. And I got to do the Osmo show as well around 2. So I got to make some lineups as well. But I'll answer. If you have any more dire questions, put them in chat. I'm more than happy to answer them. You're welcome, Max. I like Denny in odds, but not in my lineup. I'm kind of the same way there. Andrew says, have 4,500 left on Fanduel. Who would I recommend? Ooh, 4,500 left. I would probably go with Todd Gilliland, if you don't already have him. I think Gilliland's probably the best guy there. Pete says, can Harvick unload a fast forward and finally win a race here? I keep hitting the Harvick button. I feel like it's just because I'm old. The old man connection. No, I mean, he doesn't even need to win to be a good play today. Like, if Harvick gets a top 10, top 8, you're going to be very happy with that starting in 24th. So, and he should be fast. I mean, he actually has a decent record at plate races. Like, I know he's not your prototypical guy you roster at super speedways, but he just had an average finish of 16.2 with 3 top 10s and 5 top 20s here at Dega the past 6 races. And even the past 11 races at super speedways, it gets even better, where he's got 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and an average finish at 14th. I mean, I got no problem at all with Harvick today. Should be safe overall. Albert says, single entry tournament, Blaney, Elliott, Brakaslowski, Stenhouse, Busher, and Ty Dillon. It follows my rules for the most part. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Flights Demon says, asking for a friend. Logano, Elliott, Reddick, Stenhouse, Busher, and Gregs. It's a fine lineup for me. I mean, you have your 2 tournament guys in Logano and Reddick. After that, it's pretty solid. So, yeah, I like it. Yep, I'll see you in Discord, Rick. Looking forward to it. Do I think about Haley today? Haley, good plate racer, starting a little bit close to the front for me. I would play around 3 to 5% of Haley today if I was building 150 lineups. Appreciate it, Joe. Thanks for the NASCAR DFS advice. No problem at all. Thank you for contributing and being here. It makes it fun for me. Chase says, only reason I want in is to whoop you down for heads up like we used to. We'll see. I do get busy before lock, though. Pete says, you're the man. Thanks, CP. Appreciate it, Pete. Dire question, what's your favorite beer if you drink it all? Mine is Kalamazoo Stout. Good stuff. I apologize, Eric. I don't drink, so I don't know any. I only drink like water and Propel and that kind of stuff. Yeah, if you want to join the other contest, we have 33 more spots left to be filled, so if you want to get in, you can do that. The other one already filled, but this is kind of like a secondary one for you all. Elliott, Blaney, Bowman will be very heavily owned. The other 3 is up to you. That is exactly right. Everyone's going to play those 3 today, that's for sure. Anyone to take out of the player pool? I have a 0% of Bell, Truex, Larson, Suarez, and Hemrick. And I don't think I have any Kurt Busch. I am fading those guys. Mike says, I'm out of here, guys. Good luck today. And I'm out of here too as well. Make sure you smash the like button, says spread, and subscribe on your way out. Totally agree with that. Do appreciate everyone being here today. It was fun. And I wish you all the best of luck today. And I'll be over on Awesemo around 2 o'clock if you want to check that out. And if you want to join the Discord, link down below for that. But thanks for hanging out and looking forward to it.